What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast slash webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy. And listen, as we start off every show, it's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to all of our supporters, all of our new students at the Buy the Hood University, which is something that we started to try to give some education during these crazy times. Support to all you guys. People are still out there ordering merch. Want to say appreciate that support as well. People who have shared our content, watched our content, but we want to start every episode off with gratitude because we are thankful for that. I got my partner in the building with me as always, Corey. Corey, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How's everything with you, man?
Man, just trying to stay safe, man, and still find ways to be productive, man. But I can't complain, man, because some people out there struggling, man, and my prayers to them, man. But I'm in a good space, man. How about you?
Yeah, man. During these pandemic times, it's kind of hard. Like I'm stuck between being productive and just falling back on a feathery pillow and just falling out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
full Netflix mode, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, man, every episode we like to feature a brother or sister who's doing something amazing in the community. This brother that we have here with us is an author, an entrepreneur, an investor. He actually gave me an opportunity to come teach a class at one of his businesses, which is the Black Real Estate School. This guy has all sorts of amazing things going on, and I'll make sure to share a lot of his products because, like I said, he also has books that he's written. He has multiple businesses. And he's an avid investor, man. And without further ado, I want to introduce our brother Andre Hatchett to the platform. How are you, sir?
What's going on, great people? Honored to be here, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh man, we appreciate you, man. Listen, owner be owned, man.
Yeah.
That's one of your brands in your T-shirt, man.
hmm
Which I've seen on people on different cities, so it's amazing how
Oh, wow. That's
how
what's
that
up.
yeah. So I've seen people in Philly with it. I was in DC. I saw somebody wear it. I was like, okay, so yeah, people out here wearing that, man. You have a lot of amazing brands, man. I'll tell you one thing, you got some great domain names, right? As someone who buys domain names,
I appreciate it.
I pay attention to what domain names people own. You got some great domain names, man.
I
But
appreciate it.
before
Yeah.
we get into what you got going on now, man, tell us a little bit about your background, man. Where are you from?
hmm
And how did you get into the idea of being a business owner or an investor? Like, is that something you always want to do, or where are you originally from?
Yeah. So I'm a Jamaican heritage. That's also a Jamaican West Indian background. Born in New York, currently in Atlanta. And as far as always wanting to be a business owner, I did because I was selling lemonade and shoveling snow.
Were your parents business owners, or was it something that you saw growing up, or
My parents were 9 to 5ers, and are 9 to 5. Well, they'll be retiring soon. They're 9 to 5ers, but they encouraged us to do what works for us. Right?
okay?
My glasses keep fogging up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get another pair. So I I I wasn't limited. That's one of the great things. My dad said, if you go to school with somebody, he said you never have to work for that person, and that always stuck with me, right? Because a lot of times we think we have an inferiority complex in our community, right? And a lot of times it comes from our parents. I hate to say it like
No,
that,
it's
but
true. That's absolutely true. It is true. It's like we talk about like things that they leave us in terms of resources, but a lot of our feelings and thoughts also come from our parents as well. So people don't
oh,
talk about that a lot, but it's true.
totally. I think our parents a lot of times, of course not all the time, hold us back more than white people. I think they hold
Wow,
because
interesting.
if you have self-doubt coming from the household, it's magnified by like 2,000%. So um, I had a job from back stuff. I always had jobs, right? From 14 to no, yeah, from 14 till 26. Mostly I had jobs. I was a bus boy. I worked at schools. I worked at ice cream shops. I always had a job, but I never liked being told what to do by people. So even though I did the jobs, I did them well. I was always an entrepreneur type guy. I was always an entrepreneur type guy, and I just was a get it out the mud type dude. So now here, 38, own a bunch of real estate in Detroit, mostly with a group, stocks, 3 books, and a few online academies. And I guess you call me a well-rounded, community-focused entrepreneur.
Nice. Man, you brought up some interesting points, man, about, how our parents can be more hindrance to us than actually what's out there in the world, man. I know you got some thoughts on that, Corey.
Yeah, man. Parental, as a teacher, I see how parental influences create situations in classrooms and schools. Also, just as a studier of people, like those parental influences, it determines our religion, our eating habits, our everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so having, the right parental influence is a big step towards, becoming whoever you want to become. Now, at a certain point, it becomes on you to break, to break generational curses. But as a child, you don't have those choices. And so what you were saying is very, very true.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an interesting point, man. So you said your parents were 9-to-5ers, but they encouraged you. And so you said the point they wanted to make was if you go to school with somebody, you don't have to work for them.
Yeah.
Explain that point.
Yeah, so that always stuck with me. So my dad said it. He was like, you don't have to be beneath anybody. And I was like, I don't know if I had got it at first, but it just hit me like, okay. Because a lot of times we might feel like if our peers are getting A's and B's, we might feel like we're less than them because of what the school system said. But he said, if you're in the same class, why do they have to pass you in life?
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, that's real.
That's a bar.
I was like, that is wrong right there. And I don't know why they're sorry. I'm going to take the stupid thing.
No, it's all good.
And yeah, so it stuck with me. So I've been trying to figure out entrepreneurship since, again, like I was a kid. And I just decided that I'm just going to run with it and keep on going with it. And yeah, here we are.
So what was the first business that you had that actually you saw any level of success? Was it a real estate investment or was it a business?
I bought my first property at 22. That really showed me that I could do this, right? I got a co-op. Like if you're not in Northeast, it's like a condominium in New York. And so Jimmy and Corey, so I was making $15 an hour at the time, right? And I just saved all my money for like 3 years. I wrote down every dollar I earned and spent. And because I was like, I'm not going to go and rent an apartment and then take orders from white people at my job. I was like, that's just too much for me. Right? I was like, if I gotta have a job, I said, if I gotta have a job, I at least gotta own where I live, at least.
Yeah, but you know what's dope about that? You just said something that stuck with me, which is that it took you 3 years, but you were willing to make that sacrifice for 3 years, right? So I was talking to brother Malik yesterday, who's a friend of ours, was saying that he said I could tell anybody how to become a millionaire in real estate. He said, but as soon as I tell them, just give me about 8. He said, as soon as I tell them it takes 8 years, they like check out, right?
It's insane. It's insane because you're older anyway.
Exactly.
You're gonna get older anyway. I actually made a post on Twitter yesterday. Some people say, some people have a mentality, if it can't happen via a shortcut, it's not worth it happening.
Wow. If it can't happen via a shortcut, it's not worth it happening.
It has to be some kind of, I have to get there faster than other people. I can't use my credit. I'm not going to fix my credit. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to file my tax return. I have to get around that stuff for it to be worth it. And I thought about something. And my friend, homegirl Erica Williams said this. She said, if you get one house a year, that's 10 houses you'll have for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy, right? Listen, I think it was the great poet once said that you save for the future because you figure you're gonna be older way longer than you're gonna be younger. I think that was Sheik Luch, the great poet Sheik Luch said that. But no, man. But it's so true though. And the great thing about like wealth, when you start to understand how money works and how money moves, is that you know, people have these thoughts of, I need 10,000 properties or 10,000 doors. If you have 10 doors, it'll
Whole
change
different
it
life.
can change generations.
A whole different life.
Because anytime you get rent, first of all, they're paying off the debt, and if
Mhm.
hopefully you've cash flow if you bought the right way,
Yep.
that lasts forever, right? So it doesn't take 100 doors. I tell people, if you get 2 or 3 rental properties, that could change your life,
Whole different
right?
life.
Whole different life, just 2 or 3. But a lot of times we think about billions and trillions, and but if someone, you know, sets you up where you can walk into life making 2,000-3,000 a month before you get out of bed, that's a different life.
Oh, man, it's a total game changer. And I'm such a fan of, let me phrase it, I became such a fan of consistent action, because every time I tried to rush, I just messed things up.
Mm-hmm.
I just messed things up every time I tried to rush. So probably like my mid 30s or so, early to mid 30s, I just accepted that me becoming whatever, millionaire, advancing, it's going to take longer than I thought. I embraced that. That was tough, actually. It's going to take longer than I thought, and I'm going to have to be more focused than I've been. So I actually have to slow it down to speed up, but it worked. Like that's when I hit 6 figures.
That's the John Chaney philosophy.
Yep.
Slow down to speed up.
Slow down to speed up.
Slow down to speed up.
Man,
And embracing it mentally, right?
Yeah.
That's the toughest part. You got to embrace it mentally. Like, shoot, I got to slow this puppy down, but I did it. And that's when things excel for me.
Man, you know what is interesting about that, right? So I'm going through a phase now where I'm trying to get healthier, right? And I was talking to my doctor or whatever, and he was like, listen, you kind of said the same thing you just said, right? slow down and speed up, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to get healthier, everything ain't going to happen overnight. But the thing is, it's about the little steps. But those little steps happen to snowball. And it's the same way money works. It all works the same way. You know, things will start to snowball, whether we're talking about real estate, whether we're talking about business, whether we're talking about the stock market. Those small steps eventually start to snowball.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you have a couple of online academies, and you know, and I've seen it, but I know one that's very popular and that you've helped a lot of people and changed lives with is this notary business.
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
So that was my first corporation. I started it when I was 23. And I like that's what kept me out of the workforce. And that's what got me out the workforce. So a friend named Ricky, he started it. And I shadowed him. I was like, let me go back. It was another friend who told me about it. And I shadowed Ricky. And the friend said that, you know, he makes like $75 per appointment to show up for somewhere, or $125 for like 15 minutes, 45 minutes. I was like, at times I was making $100 a day. The whole day, $100. So I said, I could do this. I'm not overly complicated. I'm pretty simple. So I shadowed him, and I went around and I saw what he did, and I was like, oh shoot, like this is it. And I looked at it as, okay, this might not be what I'll do forever, but this can get me out of the job. If I could do 2 jobs a day at $100 each, that's $200 a day. That's double what I was making at the job. I can rock it out. So I got my notary license. I had my first notary appointment the same day I got my license, and I made $55, $60 in like 20 minutes. And I said, okay, this is gonna work. And I also knew that I could leverage it where I could hire subcontractors to do jobs for me. Mm-hmm. And I said that was just an extra incentive. So if I got a client to give me $150, I can give Jimmy or Corey $75 or $100. I make the difference, and y'all get paid. Everyone eats. So I knew there was scalability with it as well. 2015, I was in a car accident, so I wasn't able to maneuver like I used to. So I already had the idea anyway. And Boyce Watkins, that's Dr. Boyce Watkins, he started Blackwell Boot Camp. I was like, I got an idea. I think I could do it online. And he said, I'll help you push it. So I started it 2015. So wow, it's 5 years. Oh shit, 5 years.
Yeah.
And here we are. So it's been working. We've had thousands of students all over the country. Every week now, I'm getting someone who says that they made their first $500. I have a lady in Virginia. She started in March. In the first 2 weeks of April, she made $2,000.
Dope.
So yeah,
but you know what's interesting
really
about
cool.
that, right? So me being in real estate as long as I am, I've dealt with notaries, but I've never heard a notary have that idea to scale it or even sub it out. They just, it's just something that they like. A lot of title companies or people that work in the law, they just do on the side. I've never, like, you're the first person that thought, man, I could scale this out. I can sub this out. How do you even come up with that idea? I've never heard, like, like I said, I know a lot of people who are notaries. I've never had anybody outside of you even have that idea.
Yeah. Well, my boy Ricky said, it's called being a notary signing service. So it's similar to wholesaling real estate per se. Like you get the lead, you assign it to somebody else, you make your cut, yada, yada, yada. So he said, like, I don't have to do all the jobs myself anymore. And I was his subcontractor. So I was like, okay. Yeah. I saw the light. I saw it. So if something, I need things to be simple. What's that dude's name? Jay Harvin?
Okay. Yeah.
He says something in a podcast. He said, if it's complicated, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And I was like, yeah, that's like me. So it was good to see somebody successful who thinks like me.
Yo, so you like the fifth person who says something like that, talking about as far as lifestyle design. Like, look, if it's too rough and too hard, why am I doing it? Like,
I can't.
Why am I doing it? Like, I can be successful at the things I'm successful at. I can do other things. Why am I making this hard? And you're like the fifth person that's came on this show and said something in that vein.
Yeah. Well, the for me, Corey, is I can't do it. If it's complicated, I'm not joking. It sounds like I'm joking. I can't handle it. So, like, I'm just a simple guy. But here's something that I've become good at, Corey. I become good at mastering simplicity.
Okay.
Like, that's how the owner be on T-shirts got out there. That's how the notary school got out. That's how the real estate school got out there. And I'm a damn good. Probably my best skill set, to be honest with you, is I'm a damn good strategy / business coach. I'm able to take what people are thinking and help them slow down their brains and give them a game plan to execute on an idea or two, and for them to be successful. I had a coaching call with one of my notary students, but I do people in all different industries. And she took all the classes. She did everything right. But she was not able to land jobs. And it was supposed to be an hour call. It was 30 minutes. And the next 2 weeks, she made like $300. I guess able to, if you can help somebody slow their brain down.
Yeah, slow down and speed up. Man, that's
What's crazy is my wife is a notary, right? And we were thinking about, scaling her business and how to build out her business. And we really just sat down and just was like, all right, what businesses use notaries? And that was our first step. Like, what businesses use notaries? And then we just went to those businesses.
Yeah.
Sounds very simple, right?
Yeah, it was like, I was like, yeah, let's uncomplicate this. Let's just quick game.
No, I like that. I like that thought though. Like that term, like slow down and speed up. That could be a new T-shirt. Slow down and speed up.
Jimmy. Appreciate it, brother.
John Chaney used to say that. Like he used to say that about basketball. He's like the faster you go, the slower you're gonna be, because your brain is moving faster than your body, and so you need to slow down to be able to actually speed your body up. And he used to say that all the time when he was talking about ball.
But it's funny because I never thought into this conversation how that applies to so many things.
It does. It applies to everything. But when he said it, it just drew me straight back to it. I was like, oh, I heard that before. And then, and then, you know what I mean? But I used to sneak in the temple all the time, so I've actually heard him say it in a practice.
That's what's up.
Legend up. John Chaney. But so I noticed that you help people with that business as well. Then you also have like the Black Real Estate School. How did that idea come to fruition?
I asked. So this is something that I encourage other people to do. So I asked my notary students what they liked about the course. Did they enjoy it? Ask people who paid you for feedback. It's like getting free consultant work, right? So if people have paid you for something, ask them how you did, and let them give you an answer. Like, just do that. So anyway, I was like, what you enjoy about it? And I had the most common, I guess, praise that I got was I was able to break things that might be complicated down to a simplistic, easy to digest level. So I said, okay, I know a little bit about real estate, not a ton, but I know enough to get started. So 6 to 8 months after the notary school launched, I launched the real estate school, and it's a similar format. But now, but for that platform, because I didn't know everything about real estate, I had to bring in experts like Jimmy, Kendra Barnes, Ponji Barnes, Charles Ogilvy, Julian Gordon. We had a lot of.
You got some heavy hitters on there.
You got some great people. There's some great people, especially you. Especially you.
I'll take that.
And I had to put that together, and it was similar model. You know, everyone has their subject matter that they're an expert on, and we teach it, and it's going. It's going. Yeah. If you can help people, man, it sounds crazy, but it's not. If you can help people take a couple of steps further in life, they will happily pay you for it.
Yeah. And it's worth it, right? So, you know, one of the things that I pride myself on is that I still pay for courses, like to this day, right? You'll never know anything. And if I take one thing from a course, it's worth it for me, right? I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on courses, and I still do to this day. You know, as Deontay Wilder would say, to this day, because it's like, listen, if I spend $1,000, like I took a course that I spent $1,000 on, but within the first couple of weeks I made $3,000. Like, so I'm up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have no problem spending money on courses. That's just what it is. So yeah, your Black real estate school. But I'm gonna go back to something you said earlier about taking that 3 years and buying that co-op. When you accomplished that, when you went through that 3 years and you accomplished that, what did that do for you, like your mindset?
I felt great. I still feel great about it.
and that's years ago, but thinking about that first one, you're still feeling about that first one, right?
It was a crazy time because, you know, you're 22 or so. Most people graduate college then. Well, not most people, but a lot of people graduate college then. They're starting their new careers. Like, I didn't really have that whole experience thing. I went to school off and on later. I was never a great student. But I had something. I started something. I completed something, and I was able to do it without a degree. So it just really showed me. So I was never a good student. High school, junior high school, never. So it showed me that I can really do something in life. It showed me that I can really get out here and get busy, and I can really get control of my future, my destiny, without going the formal route that a lot of people were going. And I was really, really proud of that. And it showed, I knew delayed gratification works, but up until you delay your gratification and you have something work, it could be kind of, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it worked.
Yeah, delayed gratification is actually better because when you get it, you feel like you work for it, and it's like that's a whole different feeling.
Church. So yeah, man. I wrote down every dollar I earned and spent for like 2 or 3 years. I went out once every 2 weeks. My car died. I was on the bus. I was on the bus 21 with 8 to 10 bands in the bank and a 750 FICO score. I could have easily went and financed the car. Yeah, like a nice one. But it would have killed my DTI when I would not have been able to do it. So yeah.
But you made that sacrifice and you put that work in, man. That's. I mean, thinking about that now is like, okay, but thinking about that, like being 20, 22 years old, like, you know, most people. We'd have went and got that car, right, Corey?
Listen, I'm infamous for blowing money, but my whole
But you live and you learn, like those things that will put you in the space you are now. But
the thing that I wanted to say is that it's not hard work you did; it was smart work. Like you created a budget.
That's deep.
It's nothing hard about what you did. It was just consistent action. Like hard work for me, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Hard work is overrated. Like it's just way overrated. Like most of the people that work hard don't make any money.
That's true.
So
smart work.
It was smart work. It wasn't hard work. It was just dedication to an idea, to your craft, and to whatever you were doing. It wasn't hard work. Like you wasn't out there breaking your neck for no reason. That's hard work.
You had purpose.
You had purpose. That's purpose driven work. That's not hard work.
Yeah,
That's
but
deep.
when it's
I mean,
purpose driven.
I have a hard time telling people who are in their 40s to like write down what they spend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was
Like,
20 something years old writing it
so
down. You a G.
yeah, so that's smart
I
work. And it's
appreciate it.
consistent, man, and it's discipline. That's what it boils
That's
down
what
to.
it is. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that discipline.
Man. Asia Shelton was on your podcast. Was it
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year,
that's my
earlier
sister.
in the
Yeah,
year?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I saw her like that's her mantra right there.
Discipline. Yep.
Something,
That's it.
Discipline over everything.
It gets you there. It gets you there. And here's the thing about it: is once you have it, it might not always stick with you, but you know how to access it.
Yep.
And I have some friends who are succeeding.
Yeah.
I guess being in your late 30s, where I'm at now, it gives you like a good perspective of life.
Yeah.
And I'm able to look at people, and I look at them and I say, what did they not do that he or she did in any different industry? And a lot of times it's falling back and disciplining yourself. Not even forever, just for like an extended time period. You could rack some things up and live off of those things and rock out for years to come.
Yeah, yeah, and that's crazy because things tend to snowball, right?
They do.
So, like, it's funny. So I have a nephew who's 14, but since the day he was born, I started literally putting up like like $10, $20 a month in a brokerage account.
That's what's up.
He got several $1,000s, and it's funny thing. I've never at one time put more than $10 in there. And when he was younger, he picked his own little company. So he liked to play video games. So he picks like Microsoft for the Xbox and Nintendo and this little stuff but the thing is, it's that consistency and it's small amounts. It's just small amounts.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Like discipline, consistency, all those things, as cliche as they sound, they absolutely work.
Pays off.
So your story is amazing. So you've made that sacrifice in your 20s to kind of like have the life you want to have now. And another thing I'm taking from our conversation is, like Corey mentioned, lifestyle design, because you said you figured out a way to scale things. But also you talked about investing with the group, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that allows someone else who has like a specialty to kind of like, so you don't have to put 100% there because you got all these things going on. Right. So, So how did you make that decision, for one? And for two, the second part of that question is, you're also an author. What made you decide to start putting your work out there and writing about it?
Cool. So being the man or the woman, or what they call the alpha male of female of everything you do, if you want to go and do it, knock yourself out. I have no desire to run everything that I am part of, ever. I got a few things that I can run. I'm good at letting other people do what they do. So it was really about leverage. So if I can invest $500 or $1,000 in different projects and own 5, 10, 15% of a bunch of projects, that's residual income coming back to me. And I don't have to manage it. I don't have to get any phone calls. I'm winning. So for me, like, that's what it was. I just don't have to run it. And internally, so I said that, but some people internally feel that they have to be in control of everything they do. For some people, that works. But for some people, they aren't built for it, that they don't have the focus, they don't have the discipline, and they just don't want to, but they don't realize it because they think that they have to just do everything themselves. So I don't. So I invest with different people, different organizations, and it's been working, man. We got vending machines. What do we got? I got vending machines. We got commercial property that we have to rehab. We have properties that we got that were already cash flowing. Shout out to Charles, Ogilvy, and the crew, and a bunch of stuff, man. A bunch of assets that are kicking out income or will be kicking out income, and it's great. It's great. And it just feels good to work with other Black people on a high level.
Absolutely. So you work with your own people, but you also have a equity, within those projects without having to manage everything. So that's another part, another way to scale things for your own overall empire you're building, right?
Yeah.
Allows you to be in different things, man. But it takes a lot to say that, because you're right. A lot of people want control of everything.
Overrated as hell, man.
I was gonna say that, but I ain't want to be the one to say how overrated that is.
There's more headaches come with that. It's more headaches.
Totally, man. Totally.
More headaches that come with that, man.
And the books. You asked about the books.
Books, your books.
So I just wanted my thoughts out of my head. Like I have a hard time living. I have a hard time living with myself when I'm not trying stuff. So my first book, Owner Beyond, The Black Man's Got to Wealth Creation in America, it was just a simple, easy to digest book for Black men, kind of like a checkpoint to see like what they might be doing right, what they might be doing wrong. Not to say everyone has to do the same thing, of course, but I think everyone should have a Roth IRA, if not stocks, if not passive income, if not own real estate, something, right?
Own
One or two
something.
of those things.
Own something.
Own something. So that manhood, about independence. A lot of brothers aren't raised around dudes. A lot of brothers were not raised around dudes, so they don't know how dudes rock. And that's not a knock on them. They don't know. So I just wanted to just throw it out there in a firm way, but loving way. So and I'm probably gonna do part 2 in the near future. And I have a couple other books. The next one is called The 10 Top Habits of Underachievers. So by underachieving, I don't mean by my standards or Corey's standards or Jimmy's standards, but by your own personal standards. And most people who aren't hitting their goals in life, they're doing the same things. They're overthinking, they aren't focusing, they're doing a list of things in common. So I want to just put those things out there to have people do like a self-check within themselves to see, hey, look, am I gonna be average? And if you are, that's cool. But I want you to know you're being average. I don't want you to lie to yourself. I want you to be honest with yourself. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool to be an author. And honestly, I think it's pretty cool to say that you're an author.
No, it is. And
that's actually part of the reason why I wrote the books.
And I like your books. I actually have both of them.
I appreciate it.
And it reminds me of something Les Brown said. It said most people don't succeed is not because they aim too high and miss. It's because they aim too low and they hit.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
So that's the whole idea of underachieving. So yeah, you got a lot going on. Like I said, investor, author, business owner. What's the future? Like, what do you see as your future? What are some of the things that you're trying to get into or that you're working on?
Great question. So something I started to do probably last year is I started to appreciate the moment more. I was thinking a little too far ahead, and I got mugs too. I got mugs and shirts.
No doubt.
So I'm enjoying where I'm at in life. I'm enjoying the money I'm making. I'm enjoying the lifestyle, as Corey said. I'm enjoying the lifestyle. I don't have to physically go anywhere to make money now. I can go somewhere and make money, but I'm able to either contract out notary jobs and or my courses, books, and coaching. I'm able to make a good living without leaving the house. So I'm enjoying the moment. I think I want to get
How amazing is that during the pandemic? Like
really good.
Yeah, it's really good, right?
It feels really good. And I'll tell you, everybody can't do it right now, but I really want everyone to give themselves a timeline where they can cover their bills and some without leaving the house in the future. It might be 5 years. It might be 6 months for some people.
Nice goal to shoot for.
You got to be able to make money without leaving the house because it's literally dangerous. Literally dangerous out there. So I want to make that like a personal challenge. It feels good. It feels good because I'm able to do it at scale, and I'm able to have a direct impact on people's lives with making an honest dollar, with charging them a fair rate as well. So I'm living a great life, to be honest. I'm really enjoying it. I want to do more real estate stuff next year. Maybe not even just in this country, but I think that's going to be next.
Okay. International, buy some real estate in different countries.
That'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be dope. I think that's next.
Okay.
Why next to the concert hall in Bucharest?
Let's see how it goes.
Gotta go to the motherland. Gotta buy in the motherland.
It's only right.
Only right. Question though, along this journey, starting where you started at, you said you worked a lot of like odd jobs and things, and then you got up to buying the property,
janitor, all that stuff.
Yeah, and you've built out this amazing life and amazing business. What has like been the biggest roadblock or something that you had to get over in order to get to where you are now? Something that you recognized in yourself, or something that happened that has been your biggest hurdle?
A couple of things. I was scammed by my cousin in my 20s.
Oh, family.
So apart from that hurting a lot, he's getting a bunch of people in the family. Come to find out, a bunch of people. I was like, damn. So apart from that, just hurting, I I had a bunch of properties I had lost in my 20s, and I had a great FICO score that I lost for years. So it was discouraging and a financial hit. That was one of them. The second one, I think my biggest hurdle for years, which I just got good at in my earlier, I'm 38 now, so I guess early mid 30s, was knowing when to start what venture. Right, so I got mugs now, I got shirts, I got schools. But before, it was, I'm doing everything right now. Like, don't tell me anything. I'm not listening to you. Like, get out of here. I'm starting everything right now. Even though all the books say what the one thing and all that stuff. No, I'm doing the 10 things. You cannot tell me I can't. So it's just so silly. I'm a hardcore believer in multiple streams. I call it multiple systems. But I got better at pacing myself on when to start what. Once I did that, that changed up. When to start what, and I got better at hiring. I have an email marketing person. I had an email go out last night that I made $200 from. See if anything else came in. Yeah, I made $200 from that one email. I didn't write the email. I pay her monthly. And Maria, and she sends that out. So she does her job. I got better at delegating. So I guess knowing when to start what, and getting better people, higher quality people, paying people more, and delegating more. Like those things were my biggest hurdles that I overcame.
Yeah, that's a big piece of business. That's something I still struggle with. It's like the delegation.
It's a fight.
It's like, yeah, it is. That's something I still struggle with. So it's interesting to hear you say that. It's something I need to work on personally. In terms of being able to delegate. Mm-hmm. So, man, that's a gem right there, Core. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, because
I struggle with delegation too. Like if I want something done, I want to do it. I don't feel like waiting on nobody to do it. Like,
yeah.
So I know that feeling that you were having, and I'm older than you. But if I want something done, I'm like, man, I ain't delegating that.
But in order to scale again, and a lot of what he talks about is scaling. You have to be able to train someone to do it the way you want it, right? So, and I understand that. So, man,
and fire people. You probably have to fire some people along the way.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
That too, man. So, those were great. I appreciate you sharing that in terms of some of the struggles. In terms of influence or books, what would you say, before we get out of here, what kind of book had you read that changed your life, or what could you recommend to some of our readers, whether it's a book, a movie, or something just to give them inspiration that has helped you?
Yeah, The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough.
Wow, The Wealth
Choice. That book is cold. It's on audiobook. I think it's on audiobook now.
You want to hear something crazy about that? I'm literally reading that right now.
You stay in the book too, man.
I do.
You
it's crazy.
Play around with the books.
I'm literally listening to that on Audible right now. That's what I'm listening to. Like this second. That's crazy you say that, because I have his other book. But this has been on my list, and it made its way up to the top of the list, and it's crazy because you just said that, and that's literally what I'm listening to, man.
Yeah.
But, I'm only on like chapter 2, so you already know what it's about. Like now,
the book is cold.
So what did you take from that book? Just asking you now. That
book is cold, man. That book, he interviews a bunch of Black millionaires about their personal journey. Man, that book is cold.
Yeah.
It sounds like our podcast.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, because it's something to hear these kind of things from people that look like you, right?
It makes it more real. It makes it more attainable for us. I mean, because a lot of stuff goes on in life and images, and it's easy to feel oppressed. Being Black, you got to fight your way out of it, and you got to admit that you might have gone through some shit. And that's totally fine. It's a crazy ass world.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, that book is real.
And I think about that, like some of the things that that in terms of the images and things, and some of the things we go with. It's to put in front of us, because we still get inboxes to this day about people saying, wow, I didn't know, Black folks did that or did that, so with the work you do and the work we do is important to show that, like, listen, don't believe all the stereotypes.
Bingo.
People actually believe stereotypes. It's shocking to me that people do, but people believe stereotypes because they're not exposed.
Exposure changes everything, man. Exposure changes everything. So
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to y'all for doing what y'all doing.
Man, shout out to you for doing what you're doing, because one of the things that I appreciate about you is not only have you built amazing businesses, but I see how you've helped other people do the same. And that's
Appreciate
important
it.
because helping someone else make money is revolutionary. Like to me,
Yeah.
because now you're literally helping them feed their family. And you know, people could sit and talk about, you know, marching and all these great things all day long. But when you take action and you help you can tangibly help someone else, like, you know, put food in the refrigerator, that's revolutionary. And I've seen like some of the testimonies of your students, man. So salute to you for the work you're doing.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. If you could help somebody eat, like that's real legacy right there. Like
Yeah.
that's real legacy.
That's real legacy. Absolutely, man. Oh man. So Dre, listen, this has been amazing, man. I want to thank you for sharing your time. I want to, you know, wish you much continued success and look forward to seeing you buy these properties all over the world, man. You know,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Going international with the message. I like that. I like that. So
Let's do it.
yeah, man. Core, before we get out of here, any other thing you want to say, good brother?
Yeah, man, I appreciate the the candor and the honesty that you brought to the show. You know what I mean? What, no front, no fraud. This is what it is. It is what it is. And,
Appreciate it, brother. Cool.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of people need to hear, candor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to have, somebody who is successful in the things they do, speak with such candor is we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It helps our audience, you know what I mean? Like it helps our audience because the thing is, we run like Jim said, we run into a lot of people that's in a lot of different situations, and when somebody can speak to their life and bring them some kind of actionable things that they can do, that's just wonderful. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, and telling someone, look, just take your time and write down everything you spend. I mean, I learned this from our conversation, and we've talked before, but I learned from this conversation, man, slow down and speed up. That's going to stick with me, man. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind, man. So I just want to say I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this has been an amazing episode. To our audience out there, I just want to say, make sure you check out everything Brother Dre's got going on. I'm going to share all his links so you can see the books that he's got, his courses. And again, he's helping people out there make money. So maybe you want to like check one of his courses in terms of real estate or notary business. Just check everything else that he's got going on. This is a very powerful brother. And how's the transition, like, going down to Atlanta? How was that coming from New York City?
I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta a lot. It still has a city feel, but it's cheaper. Like that's one thing. I got a yard. Front yard and the backyard. So off rip, it's a win. I still got a spot up there in New York, but yeah, I'm happy out here, man. I'm happy.
Yeah. No doubt. So check out everything Brother Dre's got going on, man. And we'll make sure we share all your content. Leave us feedback. Like you said, leave us feedback. Tell us someone that you may want to see on an episode. Any questions that you may have. Check out everything we got going on. BuyTheHoodUniversity.com. And again, we appreciate everybody for purchasing merch. It's crazy to see people purchasing merch like during the pandemic, but it's definitely appreciated.
People
but
at home,
yeah. But it's all love, man. We want to.
What about the merch at?
You go right to the link in our to the link in our bio. We got all kinds of shirts. We got our most popular shirt. Just putting it out there. It's the one that is deeds and dividends over debt. People like that one.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, deeds and dividends.
I like that. Yeah,
that's the most popular one. But yeah, and also the other one is Black Wealth is Black Power, which we believe in. So listen, we appreciate everybody, man, and make sure you check out what Brother Dre's got going on. As we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, man, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.